Have you ever stopped to think about why so many people get into debt just to look rich? Why we buy things we don't need, with money we don't have, to impress people who don't even care? Maybe this is one of the most dangerous traps of our time, and also one of the least talked about. After all, while many fight to maintain a lifestyle that seems impressive, true millionaires live a very different reality. Quiet, strategic, and above all, simple. Let's get straight to the point. Spending money just to show how much you have is the fastest way to have less. It's hard to hear that, but it's the pure truth. Think back to that moment early in your adult life when you decided to buy a new car. The smell of a brand new vehicle, the look of admiration from your friends, that feeling of achievement. It all seemed amazing. But then the bills came. Tight installments, high interest rates, accumulating debt. All of that for what? To impress. But in the end, people don't care that much. Your friends might say, "Wow," when you pick up the check at dinner. But the truth is, they're just enjoying the meal. And strangers on the street? They don't even notice. Be honest. When was the last time you saw a luxury car drive by and actually cared about who was behind the wheel? Exactly. Showing off impresses for a few seconds and costs you for many years. If you're going to spend your hard-earned money, let it be on things that truly make sense to you. Never, I repeat, never, spend just to impress others. Because believe me, no one cares as much as you think they do. And what's left after all that performance? A pile of bills and an empty feeling. Meanwhile, true millionaires take a different path. Contrary to what we see on social media and television, most truly wealthy people live simply. That's right. No movie-like mansions, no brand new sports cars, no excess designer clothes. There's a classic book called The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley. He conducted extensive research on millionaires in the United States and reached surprising conclusions. The truly rich are discreet, careful with their money, and avoid showy consumption. These people understand that real wealth isn't about looking rich, it's about being free. Freedom to choose where and with whom to spend your time, to make decisions without the weight of debt, to live in peace. Most of these millionaires didn't win the lottery. They built their wealth over time, with discipline and smart choices. And do you know what their most common secret is? The ability to spend less than they earn. That's it. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. Many of these millionaires choose simple clothes, live in ordinary neighborhoods, and drive cars that don't stand out. They prioritize long-term financial growth over instant validation. Now let's move on to another key point, the impact of your social circle on your finances. There's a well-known saying that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with, and it makes perfect sense. If your friends are spenders in debt and unconcerned about their financial future, guess what your tendency will be? This isn't judgment, it's observation. Our social circles are usually shaped by where we're born, raised, educated, and work. And while it's natural to maintain those connections, it's essential to be open to new influences, especially if you're seeking personal and financial growth. Now stop and think. If the people around you don't have a good relationship with money, health, or education, do you really believe you'll develop all that on your own, purely through willpower? It might happen, but it'll be much harder. The truth is, our environment influences us more than we like to admit. That's why, if you want to change your life, start by changing the people you spend the most time with. That doesn't mean abandoning old friends. It means expanding your circle. Go to lectures, attend workshops, spend time in environments where knowledge and personal growth are valued. You'll be surprised at the doors that open when you surround yourself with people who are on the same wavelength of growth. Here's another point that few talk about, but that can make all the difference. Evaluate the financial situation of the person you intend to marry. This may be one of the most important decisions of your life, and one of the least discussed with the seriousness it deserves. Love is essential, of course. But when it comes to building a life together, how each person handles money can strengthen or destroy a relationship. Couples who have very different financial mindsets often struggle to build wealth. If one is a spender and the other a saver, Conflict is inevitable. That's why it's crucial to talk openly about money, share dreams, concerns, goals. Create a financial plan together that works for both. This doesn't mean agreeing on everything, but finding balance. Now let's talk about investing. Many people think investing is for the rich or that it's a complex game reserved for market experts. Nothing could be further from the truth. Investing should be simple, and it really is, as long as you don't complicate it. The problem is that the financial industry loves using fancy words: dividend yield, valuation, EBITDA, and so on. It's as if they want you to feel lost and dependent on experts. But investing is like learning to ride a bike. At first you wobble, but over time it becomes natural. You don't need to understand all the technical terms to start. Just take the first step. Begin with the basics: government bonds, real estate funds, shares of solid companies. Learn at your own pace. The most important thing is to start and stay consistent. And here comes a powerful principle: long-term investing. There's no point in wanting to get rich overnight. The greatest investors in the world, like Warren Buffett, built their fortunes with patience. Buffett often says his favorite holding period is forever. And that's no exaggeration. He's held Coca-Cola shares for over 30 years. American Express has been in his portfolio for nearly 3 decades. Why? Because he believes in consistency. Investing with a long-term focus is the secret that turns small contributions into great wealth. It's not about guessing which stock will go up tomorrow, but about choosing good companies and staying committed to them for many years. So next time you feel the urge to impress someone with an unnecessary expense, remember all this. Remember that true financial freedom doesn't come from status, but from discipline, from control, from patience, from the right relationships, from simple, well-made investments. And above all, remember that the journey toward financial independence is long, but incredibly rewarding. If you enjoyed this video and want more content like this, subscribe to our channel. Here you'll find real reflections about money, smart choices, and solid paths toward the freedom you deserve. See you next time.